Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's No FOMO Charts Stocks and Crypto TA live stream. Welcome, everybody. In this live stream, I go over stock charts, crypto charts, and answer any questions and requests in the live chat or YouTube comments. Today is December 22, 2023. It's 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's just about to be Christmas holiday weekend here in the USA and around the world. Happy holidays to all. But I'm still going to stream. So let's go ahead and get into this. There's some background noise right now, but we'll keep going. So in terms of stocks and the earnings calendar, Q4 earnings season doesn't start until January 8, 2024. So that's about 3 weeks from now, and big banks are going to report. So we have about 2 holiday weekends in a row, and then it's going to pick up again in terms of the volatility and the news. Economic data releases this upcoming week after the holiday, Christmas holiday. We have manufacturing index, unemployment claims, pending home sales, and PMI. Last week's data, we had USA GDP contracting lower than expectations, and also the core PCE price index also contracting lower than expectations. So those are two data markers that actually are confirming and showing that all the interest rate hikes for the past 1.5 years are finally actually working. We're starting to see it in those important data. So yes, looking ahead, when I read the news articles on CNBC, etc., I keep seeing the same headline that possibly by March, maybe we'll start to get FOMC. We'll start to get FOMC interest rate reductions, possibly in March. We'll see. Current events and news. USA stock markets closed this Monday, December 25, 2023, for the Christmas holiday. In stock market, FedEx and Nike missed their expectations on revenue this past week. That's why both stocks dropped negative 10%. That did affect the Dow Jones and S&P 500. Coinbase secures their crypto license in France, expanding into Europe. Solana crypto overtakes Ripple as the 5th largest cryptocurrency by market cap size. And that's because Solana has had a wonderful 300 plus, 400% plus rally this year, especially in the past 3 months. That's why that's happening. Thank you. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. Okay, let's go to SPY. Start off on stocks. SPY, on the daily chart, we are starting to see a little bit of consolidation going sideways here, 475.23. I'll just leave these two levels up. The support, immediate support is 467.92, and the resistance is 475.23 as well. We do have a diagonal trend line. So once this trend line in the blue is violated to the downside, then I'm going to expect a pullback. I'm starting to build a little bit of a short position just myself because of I'm starting to see, if you know Elliott wave, I'm starting to see a 1-2. It's not quite a clean 3, but some kind of Elliott wave pattern. This might not be technically 100% textbook, but the 3 wave is too short, but there is some psychological Elliott wave happening here. So that's why I'm starting to just build that. Plus, we're getting to the overbought region. So what could happen is it could definitely pop up one more leg up, and then we'll get a bearish divergence, and finally it'll actually come to pass. But we're not going to crash. It's probably just going to pull back to one of these EMAs, 462 or 450, and establish a higher low, which is totally normal. On the weekly as well, it's just approaching that overbought here on the RSI, and we're starting to get this doji candle, which is why I'm a little bit of hesitation here. Last time we got a couple of these doji candles, the market did pull back. Let's see, we had one, the shooting star, we had a doji. Let's see here. That's why once the evening star pattern, if we ever get one, so it's going to go right into earnings in terms of where's this volatility going. NASDAQ, QQQ on the daily chart, again, very similar. Probably because of FedEx and Nike and the end of the year. Most people are taking a holiday right now, but I still do charts, at least on this stream. So we have resistance at 410 and support at 402.46. We also have this trend line. This is what I'm saying. This could be the immediate support right here, 402.46. And then if we get a stronger higher low, maybe even 392 area could be the next level of support. It's the highest level ever since 2022. If I look way left, we passed that high. So that's why I know this 400 range here on the left side from 2022 is our support level. We just tapped above that. On the weekly as well, you can see a little bit of a doji candle as well. But we've had shooting stars and dojis followed by continuation. So it's all going to be data dependent on the earnings in about a month from now. Dow Jones, very similar. So this is how you know markets are very correlated. When they go up, they're going to go up, probably all three indexes. 375.88, support 370.57 right below. And we can also see, again, I'm starting to notice this little Elliott wave type of action on the Dow Jones, a little cleaner. Will we get a little ABC correction and then continue this rally? It's possible, one scenario. Watching very closely for the break above the high or the low in these two yellow lines. The weekly as well, weekly doji candle. So that's why I'm starting to just really notice this. Most people are super bullish right now, and I understand that because of the data. But at the same time, it's not really natural. It's not really healthy to go straight up nonstop. We need to have some pullbacks. Like in 2021, that was more normal. This is not kind of normal. This is people getting really excited about interest rate hikes coming down. Let's go to Russell 2000. We do have the golden cross on the Russell 2000 daily. But at the same time, we just broke above a relative resistance. Now, Russell 2000, we just broke above 197. We were stuck between these two levels, basically. In this way, I like to put a parallel channel. Just nice to have that. This is a perfect textbook example of consolidation. We hit the bottom level here of 161 3 times with this upside down head and shoulders that I was saying on stream since November, that this might go up because it's upside down head and shoulders. And then look what happens. Resistance, 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 just poked out of there. So either it's going to keep rallying or we're going to back test at least possibly the middle heart line of 180 long-term or 190. That's what I'm looking for here on the IWM. Smaller growth stocks, right? It's not quite overbought. This one could be the real one though, however, because sometimes when we're in a range, at some point, it's either going to break out of that range or collapse out of that range. So it's looking like it wants to break out that range because of all the good data that's coming out. Okay, let's move on to gold. Go a little faster. Gold still in its daily uptrend, holding this EMA. We hit this resistance of 192.37 in this yellow line. Above, the support level below is 187.07. And these blue markers that I've drawn here are the higher lows. High, higher low, higher high, higher low. So gold looking like it wants to retest this double top of 190, 159. See if we get there or not. Also, this yellow trend line, our best friend here on TA charts, if I close it in, there is a hidden support here at 186.74. I'm going to watch out for that. On the weekly, I don't see any extreme warning signs or anything like that. So it's going to keep going here as expected. Silver in the wedge pattern here. Support, support, support on the downside, resistance, resistance. It's still golden crossed here on the EMAs if we look very carefully, yellow above the red lines. Holding above this 2196 level. See if it can rally up to 2347. I am seeing this little momentum. One green bar of histogram giving hope to the daily chart bulls here. And the price is resting above EMA. That's actually totally fine and normal. Copper with a golden up cross here on the EMA is very good. Holding the support trend line, that's fine. But possibly trying to break out above this trend line. We have above $24. So that's the line in the sand that I have to draw here, $24. If it pulls back, that's okay too. Comes back to 23.60, try to hold that higher low and try to break out of here. Let's go to oil. Oil, unfortunately, with the death cross, we can see here, I'll mark it in neon pink vertical line on just happened 4 days ago. Still in the downtrend, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. But I just drew 5 waves of Elliott wave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So is this going to be an A, B, C type of retest? So what I'm watching for on oil is, will we get a higher low somewhere right here at $66? X marks the spot. Because if that's true, maybe the death cross, this is the first test of the death cross, the resistance ceiling I marked here at 70.63. Going to see if that holds and tries to bounce. If not, then it's going to make a new low here, probably at 62. So I'm watching that very closely. Natural gas had, UNG, had a nice relief rally. So finally, some relief for the bulls here. We could see just catastrophic, diabolical downtrend for natural gas. This is why I've been hands off natural gas. I'm just not really touching this as a bull. But the falling wedge pattern here, you can see hit this resistance, but we've hit this support multiple times. That's why this is actually forecastable. If I just draw this long yellow line down here, and the top of that move should be $5.81. We had that oversold as well. So that's why some bot algorithms are just going to pick that up just on the basis of it being oversold. Potential hammer candle is still in play. There's bullish divergence on the weekly as well. So it could take several weeks for this thing to actually pop back up to about the $6 range. And watch that very closely. To end off the stock segment, it's going to go through some indexes very fast. Here, some sector ETFs. Let's just take a look. XOK, tech sector. This is how I know. Maybe a little bearish pullback because we have this double top on the RSI, losing momentum on the MACD, and the price is trying to rally. That's bearish divergence on the daily chart. XLC with a double top on the RSI, losing momentum. I'm not saying it's going to crash to the bottom, just might get a little pullback down to like 70, 40 area. Real estate as well, tracking the IWM Russell 2000 and seeing exactly where the 20% is going to end. It should have went 8 to 16%, and it did exactly to that number. And we're getting to the overbought range as well, expecting a little bit of pullback. Energy trying to hold on. It had this double bottom low with the bullish divergence momentum pushing it back into the trend line. And see, just like oil, if it can hold that higher low and try to rally back up, trying to claw back from the losses there on oil. XLY with this nice bullish move back in November, but that's hit a relative swing trading high. That's why I'm a little bit concerned about that pulling back a couple percent. A lot of these indexes. So this is why it pays to look at the indexes, because every single chart that I'm showing, there was a perfect bullish setup. It was all there. It was just a matter of somebody willing to take on the risk during that time, because it was a pretty fearful time in terms of the news, in terms of if you're doing crypto at the same time, there's a lot of lawsuits going on, and we're in a downtrend in stocks. So a lot of people were saying we're going to crash until we double bottomed, and then we rallied. Beautiful rally. XOP went oversold to almost the overbought region. This MACD is starting to flatten the momentum. So that's why, especially XLF right here, this went way kind of overboard. 18% is it's really fast move. So it's the expected move. Last time that happened, about 67 days, 20%. It's about 62 something days right now. So I'm expecting some kind of pullback before a continuation. We could get a repeat of this exact move. Pullback, maybe 33 to the 382, 50%. Then RSI cools off on intraday and we get another bounce higher. So that's why swing traders and algorithms might be looking to take a little bit of that profit heading into earnings. SMH, last one we'll do here, is we had this consolidation in AMD NVIDIA with the bullish move divergence pushing it back up to that trend line, but still under that resistance double top with the bearish divergence, which is why I'm starting to build a little bit of a short position. I'm not going crazy with it because it is holidays, but sometimes when demand is weaker or less, because people are on holidays, the shorts, it's actually a little easier to short because people are away. Let's go to crypto. Thank you, everybody. Welcome to the crypto segment of the stream. I'm streaming live on TradingView, YouTube, Twitch. Also have an X Twitter group, social media, and happy holidays. It's almost Christmas holiday here on Monday. Let's go to total, TOTAL. Just want to remind people, this is not a flex, but every end of the year, I just recap my performance. For crypto, on Solana, it's my greatest trade of this year. I'm up 200% on Solana. Crypto and Cardano's my second best. I'm up more than 100% on Cardano. So it's wonderful. I think I'm actually up, let's see, on Cardano, 142%. So that's why it pays to just keep looking at the charts every week or every month. At least every week, I would say, if somebody's trying to swing trade, especially crypto. Here we go with Bitcoin, though. I'll come back to total. Bitcoin, riding that resistance line up. Let me clean this up a little bit. If I just draw two lines here, support line first, trend line. Get this on here. I could tighten that up a little bit more. And we have the resistance trend line on the top. It's almost, if somebody doesn't want to draw it like that, that's okay too. We can also draw it like this, which makes more sense, a much cleaner line. Almost a rising wedge pattern. We broke out of there. A little bit of resistance at right below $45,000 Bitcoin. And keep in mind, this is just 2023. We had the support. We have resistance on the top, resistance. We just broke out, but we're in the resistance zone. So like I said last week, if we pull back, it's actually okay as a bull. I'm fine with that as an investor. Nobody wants to see it really happen, but it's natural for it to happen because there is the bearish divergence building here on the RSI in terms of momentum. Where is it going to go down to if it pulls back? Because it's double top right now. If it doesn't break out in the next 4 weeks, I'm expecting this to reach down back to 40,000. These are the two lines that I'm really boxing the price in here. So it's good to draw alerts. Let's get 45,000 on the screen. BTC resistance. And I'll put 40,000 here. It tapped 41K, but I'll just put 40 because it's a nicer even number. 40,000 BTC support level. And there we go. Just box it in like that. Sometimes if I just put a yellow line, this is like a little pro tip. It's not going to tell me anything. If it happens overnight, you can turn this yellow horizontal line into an alert. You just right click it and add alert on the horizontal line. So I'll turn this into 50,000. I have to redraw that number, put it right at 50,000. Then add the alert on it. And once per bar close. Open-ended alert, $50,000 Bitcoin. Very important to put these alerts. I know it doesn't seem like I'm doing anything right now, but it's very important because if this starts breaking out really fast overnight, I wake up, or if I'm not on the charts because it's holiday, I need to know that. I need to know if it's going to break out. I need to know if it's going to break down. Still, Alerts are extremely powerful, highly underrated. Now, in terms of where we're going to go, again, hitting this resistance point broke out of there and stuck here. If I open up EMAs, we're still golden across. Beautiful. It's fine. Totally fine. What's support level? 42K, 39K, 36K, and 31K. Very simple. Pivots to the upside, the resistance 46K and 49K. That's all I need to know. As an investor, I don't need to panic about anything. We're in the higher low pattern. We are uptrending right now. And unless the SEC bans Bitcoin or bans Bitcoin ETF or shuts down something in terms of Bitcoin trading, we're probably going to be fine, right? Now, all the news is about the Bitcoin spot ETF, and we have the Bitcoin halving in April, less than 120 days or 130 days. And so we could rally into April, and then have a big sell-off. We're not that far from $65,000 Bitcoin. It's only 50% more. And I'm anticipating that people over the Christmas holiday, New Year's holiday, will start to talk to people about Bitcoin. Hey, did you hear about Bitcoin? It's at like 40 something thousand. Did you hear about the Bitcoin ETF? And in terms of stocks, some people will say, hey, did you hear about interest rate hikes being reduced? I told some people I know about that, right? Who are not into technical analysis or anything like that. So people are going to start talking next couple of weeks, and then we're heading right into earnings. So the volatility is incoming. Let's go to weekly chart here. Weekly chart, 2 inside bars or 2 consolidation. It's not quite an inside bar, but just going sideways right there. If you look at a weekly chart, we're in the overbought, starting to lose a little bit of MACD histogram. If it falls back down, we could go all the way down to 32,000 and technically still be in an uptrend. So the bears might have one opportunity here if this starts weakening, right? It's like throwing a ball into the air. It can't maintain its momentum forever. It has to pull back a little bit, reset all the oscillators on the intraday, like oversold, RSI MACD, and then dip buyer is going to buy that and try to push it up to the next level. So enough on Bitcoin. Let's go to total. It's very similar. It's not quite exact, but this measured move from here should be 64% from the breakout spot. We should go way higher than this. We should go to 2.26 trillion market cap. And that's basically where we were when Bitcoin's at 65,000. So we could be at the start of or in the middle of the huge rally. This was all SEC news and uncertainty. And then we had that big break in the SEC backing off a little bit because of government here. So high, low, higher, high. Where's the higher low? Big question mark, right? So if it pulls back, no problem. No problem. I'll probably buy some more, pull back, buy some more, and let it go up. Okay. Let's go to Ethereum. I have a question. Do I look at futures? Yes, I look at futures. I just saw your question right now, so I have to look at it after the crypto segment. Thank you for that question. Ethereum USD T. Giant symmetrical triangle here. Ethereum has been pretty quiet actually, but 80% is this move from the breakout. We should go to 3,483 Ethereum. It sounds ridiculous, but it's not really ridiculous. It's only 50% higher. That can easily happen in crypto. Supports on the bottom side. We just broke out of here, this sideways consolidation, upside down head and shoulders in the uptrend. Now, I don't want to get too excited about somebody watching my stream. Higher high. There is a 3, 4. That's a little bit of a stretch. It's not quite the Elliott wave. But enough of this move here, and it's going to stop at some point because it's just too much. In terms of too much green, too much buyers. Now, it is crypto. If we rewind the charts, it is possible for it to go up nonstop without major pullbacks. We saw that in the pandemic low, 2020, 2021, and then it finally ended. So this scenario could happen again in the next 3 months. Definitely possible, which is why for me, I'm just holding. I'm just hodling. I'm not panicking. Just let it go because we had such a massive downtrend, get this higher low, the uptrend's trying to go. It's literally trying to go in the next couple months. So the target up here, 3,500. If I open up some pivots just to confirm that, yes, that's R5. Still in the golden cross. So if this is going to be the big golden cross, this might be the one to get us up to 4,000 area on Ethereum. On the weekly, very so similar, right? 2 candles of sideways action after a support breakout. I longed cryptos, all of it right here. Is it your easy setup? It was not emotionally easy, but if I just said, you know what, this is a support level, we had some good news, I'm going to buy, and reap the rewards. That's what happened. The longer I trade, the less emotional it affects me. It's just like everyday business. Sometimes it even feels a little boring. That's how you know when you have a lot of reps in the market, when it starts getting kind of monotonous. Because the same thing happening over and over all the time. Now, Binance Coin, this was interesting setup, however, with their lawsuit, upside down, head and shoulders with the breakout. So if this is true, even though they had their lawsuit with the SEC, 20% should be the target up here, 293. If they have an incredible breakout, 38% is the second target. First target, second target. See if that holds. We could draw a trend line on the bottom side just to make sure. Box the price in on the top side. So it is at a relative resistance, but it has to just not break below 250, basically. Let's go to Solana, the big one. You'll see news about this all the time. But this is what I'm saying. Just to explain to people, okay? When people start getting excited about crypto, it's because there has been a huge move that's happened. Because the way the culture society works is when it's red, psychologically, people turn off. When it's downtrend like this, when Solana is down negative 96.45%, people quit the market in this area. It's either investors losing too much money, traders losing too much money if they're on the wrong direction, right? Or it's just so red, people say, I'm going to come back later. I don't care about this right now. But then there's usually a bottom to crypto. So for those of us who survived this whole year in terms of TA, trading, or investing, there's huge setup and huge rewards to be reaped by just not quitting, by just not giving up on the charts. And yes, life happens. I've actually learned when life gets stressful and things are going really bad, there's usually some kind of good setup in the market. I just noticed that. It's just natural. Something bad is happening in the world, then if you look at the charts, there's something actually probably setting up on the charts. So in Solana, how the heck did I do this? Is right here, right? Almost 400% gains on Solana, technically, but 200% from this breakout spot, okay, or 300%. It's actually just keeps going higher. It just keeps changing every week. But basically, large symmetrical triangle. It was in a downtrend. So I remember somebody asked me about Solana, somebody somewhere here, and I said to that person, maybe not now. Maybe wait because we haven't had a trend change in this circle. Because Solana is not going up. When he asked me that question, it was going down. So as a long, I didn't even touch Solana here. But as soon as we hit this higher low, June, okay, I'm getting interested. Higher low, support. And then finally, September, October, it's like, wait a second, SEC backing off, buy. Because I identified the pattern. High, higher low, higher high, higher low. And then 3 months later, higher high, plus 300% gains. Now, somebody new to crypto might just come in and say like, oh, it's so green, it's going to keep going to the moon. Maybe. Last time on Solana, after we had a huge rally, it pulled back and then got oversold and then broke out again. So if that happens again, I'm okay with Solana pulling back, not to oblivion, but pull back to a relative support level like 56 area. Then dip buyers would come back and buy that again. Open up some pivots. We're not even R5. It's almost R3, R4, 117, 139. It's right below $100 psychological. So I'm expecting some people to take profit there. It is golden up cross. That's another indicator that shows it was going to go up. Last time we had golden up cross, we had a mega rally on Solana. We had a sim triangle, just like Ethereum. This is the Ethereum competitor, by the way. Right? That's why. But how do I know? I mean, you know, in crypto, it's expected if it goes 500% or 1,000%, 1,000%, most people know when you get a 10 bagger, you just take the profit, right? Just put the stop loss there. So if it ever hits 250 again, somewhere here, I'll probably just execute a sell order there just because, right? But in terms of this large triangle, it was supposed to be 300%. So for the breakout, we're not quite there yet. And once we hit that 600% level, if it ever happens, then I'm going to start taking profit on that. But yes, somebody's saying on Solana, it's already halfway to its all-time high market cap. Yes, market cap is good, but in terms of here, in terms of the price chart, if we put up a Fibonacci, or if you want to say from this relative low, yes, it hit that 618. In terms of this move, the 50% retrace would be $133. So that's something I'm watching out for. But again, this is not a flex. This is an education about how did I know to get into Solana. It's very important to get in early for all cryptos. Something I learned very important in crypto trading is there's almost always a setup on crypto. It's a matter of, do I find it and am I willing to put risk on the trade? Because now all I have to do is just execute a stop loss and then take that profit, right? I don't have to worry about chasing something or entering today and losing sleep about did it go up or did it go down the next morning. So it's very important to get into that mindset, even on the weekly as well, higher, low as well. There's a trend line develop, even an ascending triangle breakout explosion. Hit that Fibonacci 618. So we'll see what happens there. Okay, moving on to Cardano. Cardano, another beautiful play. This one, remember, if you follow my stream, you actually watch the whole thing, or the crypto part is, I remember pointing this part out. So another education here of why and how did I enter Cardano is right here. Support level, support level, resistance, resistance, resistance. So if I am on this chart and I'm looking at this Cardano, I know it's a top 10 crypto. Do I want to long at support or do I want to long at resistance? This thing did not really. Sometimes this tool works and sometimes it doesn't. But they fixed it. Just quick aside, TradingView did fix this. So if you happen to notice, like if you use the tool every single day like I do, if you move it around, now it kind of stays the same percentage. Before it would just kind of expand in a kind of a overly ridiculous way. But it's because of the scale, but on stocks, it kind of fixed it. I guess they fixed it where it stays closer to your ratio a little bit better than it used to. So thank you, TradingView. So again, if I'm trying to long this thing, where am I going to buy this thing? Crypto. I want to long it down here. That's what separates, I would say, experienced versus non-experienced traders, or someone has a strategy versus no strategy, is understanding that support plays are the play. They are the play. Resistance breakouts not always the play. Because support right here, what was the measure move? 80%, and upside down head and shoulders at 24 cents. If I can zoom in right here, right? If we zoom in, upside down head and shoulders. I remember calling that on stream saying, hey guys, or everyone, maybe this is going to be a potential bottom because we have triple bottom, upside down head and shoulders. And there's a clear open blank space target up here. It's just nobody wants to buy that when it's down there because it's maximum fear. because after you have a huge crash like this and more red, people just quit the market. They say it's not going up. I quit. I give up on this. But again, like what I've learned is at least don't quit the charts. I can take a break from trading if there's some losses or the market's not going the direction that I want it to go in. But I learned to not quit the charts. Once I quit the charts, then it's game over because then I can't see what's going on anymore. And the cascading effect of then I can't make a decision anymore or an informed decision. Then there's no setup. Then there's no strategy. Then the risk reward ratio is not going to fulfill itself. Then there's no strategy. Entry and exit, right? So that's why I learned to just keep looking, always keep looking at the chart and try our best to just manually draw some technical analysis. So moving forward, what's going to happen with Cardano? Everyone asks me that all the time. So let's go ahead and Fibonacci this. Low to high, pandemic low to pandemic high. If somebody doesn't want to do that, you could do the 2023 low to pandemic high. And I can see, we just hit the 0.88 retrace. The target usually is 618. Usually natural retrace is 618. Remember this box I drew down here? This box is 66%. So 66%, we actually tapped that. That's why the algorithms, they know sell, sell, sell. We go double that, 89 cents. And we'll probably try to test the dollar area here again. It's not that far away. Again, 50%. So we need another round of bull buyers coming into the market. But I like the fact that this thing bottomed out. Huge on a weekly chart. Turned into a double bottom. This was textbook. This is textbook. When I saw this, it was like nighttime when I made this trade. I was alone in my room, in my trading room, and I say, wait a second, isn't this double bottom? So right here, W, double bottom, and then I said, buy, buy, buy. At support, I know this, and then bought it. And so that's what happened. That's what happened. So up, how much am I up exactly? 140%, right? Now this move to the top of that W should be actually 100. So I would not be surprised if this goes 100% to 91 cents. That's why. So I'm saying there could be room, but the higher things go, it's like Jenga, that board game. You ever play that board game? The higher the blocks get stacked, the higher the price goes, the more risk there is of a pullback crash, the more risk of loss. That's why I keep trying to preach. I keep trying to tell people, and even for myself, every day, every week is, if I see a support setup, I am going to buy this thing. And I want to put risk on the bottom, not at the top. So if it pulls back 54 cents, could pull back, totally normal. Totally normal. High, low, high, higher, low, and we'll try to get that to 90 cents. Thank you for the follows. Appreciate it. Let's keep going here. It sounds like I'm talking a lot, but these are literally strategies that people can apply. Okay. At the end of the stream, I'll even I'll rewind to a stock stuff and I have to do futures. I'll go a little bit longer today. So rapid fire the rest. XRP. XRP as a support. Support 1, 2, 3, 4. We haven't hit the fifth support. So if this is turning to a lower high, XRP a little bit out of risk here if it pulls back to 56 cents and then try to get that bounce. If not, XRP is in trouble because it has to break above 76 cents and have a real breakout. XRP, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low. We have to break $1 on XRP. That's 33% higher. We need to go there. Or at least like Cardano, maybe double bottom this and everyone's going to try to defend this bottom spot at 47. So those are the two levels. When it's in the middle, it's not really attractive setup. AVAX, absolutely beautiful. So if you rewind my stream back to October, it was kind of maybe this is the bottom. I remember I highlighted almost all the main altcoins saying this is looking really suspicious right now. Why is it oversold with bullish momentum? The market, yes, it was scary at that time because SEC wanted to destroy crypto in America, but we had double bottoms and then huge short squeeze. All those shorts all the futures that were going to try to short this down got squeezed out of the market very rapidly. This is also combined in tandem with the stock market rally. Right at the beginning of the stream, we saw October, November was the bottom, and then we all rallied. AVAX, even though it's on the SEC sue list, this thing went 400% in 2 months, just like Solana. So sometimes, not every crypto is gold, but certain setups, certain times in the market, everything will move together. Bitcoin goes up, all coins going to go up. Stocks go up, NASDAQ tech stocks go up, Bitcoin probably going to go up. So there are correlations in this market. Also, there is that setup. If you see in the dotted lines here, falling wedge pattern. This is this textbook, falling wedge pattern. As soon as it breaks out, we had a one retest and then explosion to the upside. I am not saying buy this right now because I'm seeing huge bearish divergence. Huge. That's why even Solana in the back of my mind, I'm like, this might be some kind of relative top right now. Because all cryptos going up 500%. Somebody's going to take their profit in the overbought range. Is it over? It's not over. But if somebody forced me to buy this, I'm not going to buy this now. I'm going to wait till it pulls back, let it crash somewhere, buy it on an EMA, buy it on a pivot support level, like right here, $32, wherever it pulls back, and then long it again, put some risk on there when it's a little safer setup. DOT, double top on this RSI. Another falling wedge breakout. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. So this is all the day traders trying to get their like last bit of the gains. Right? That's why I stopped day trading. I started out as a crypto day trader, but I stopped doing that because I like getting maximum profit on swing trades or investment. I like trying to be efficient, meaning like do like one trade instead of 10 trades. I'll just do one trade. So that my style has changed over time. As the crypto exchanges, the culture changed. So DOT, simply, if I draw one trend line, or we could draw a parabolic line. Parabolas are a little trickier to draw. However, so I recommend the regular trend lines. And our support level could be like $7 or below that, 625 area, high, low, high, higher, low type of area. So that's our support for there. Sometimes the RSI though, even when it goes crazy like this has happened in the past where it's high and then it kept going higher. So it could happen. I've experienced that in crypto firsthand, lived through that every single day. So I know on the back of my mind, it could pull back just one little bit of red. And then that's going to be the final setup. So when crypto starts going moon style, mooning, meaning heavy rally, breakouts are the play in terms of if it keeps breaking out and never comes back down. But if you have a huge dip, that's also a buying opportunity as well. If something crashes negative 25, 30% in 3 days, it's probably some kind of Bollinger Band play. Okay, too much information in one session. We got Doge. Doge starting to make headlines again. And Doge, what can we learn from this chart? Is very simple. Sometimes it's good to look at a daily chart and just start drawing lines. What do I see here? Well, most recent, sometimes I like to start from present and then work my way backwards in time. So if somebody wanted to do it that way, if this is today, right? Where is the biggest trend lines? Support and resistance right here. Support line, resistance line. So that's how I can make easy trend lines. And sometimes it's not perfect. So if I want exact perfect, turn the magnet on. Where did my magnet tool go? Here it is. Weak magnet. And just connect the dots here like I'm drawing something. Drawing the support. And on the top side, I can see something like this where I'm drawing the resistance like that. So again, support levels And once it hit the support, there is just another play here, right? There are two triangles inside of each other, this resistance and this larger one on the top side. And then finally, once it hits that support, again, in tandem, October, all these cryptos finally tap that support. Even stock market tap that bottom, and then it's decision time. If I'm watching on the charts, am I going to buy this? Yes or no? How much money am I going to put in? How much risk am I going to put in? What's my risk to reward ratio? What's my setup? All those questions come into play, and then it's buy time. It's risk on time. So we're at the resistance point right now. On Doge, two things can happen. It's going to pull back. Let's look at bullish first because that's the bias right now. Bullish pullback, retest this 0.88 price, and then blast off to the next pivot point, which is somewhere like 11 cents or 13 cents, right? The bearish scenario is we double top at 10 cents for whatever reason. If this is our high for the month, then if it starts slipping, it can pull back down to 8 cents flat. And no bull really wants to see that, but it's all about supply demand dynamics. All I have to draw is this one trend line on a lot of cryptos. As soon as we lose this trend line and we have that close below in the retest, I know something bad's going to happen. Maybe I'll stop loss and finally take my profit or some, right? So that's why. Just look at it like that. SHIB. Full transparency, I'm also holding SHIB up 50% on Shiba Inu. Not the greatest gains, but it's beautiful. Now, what I want to point out here on SHIB is how did I know how to get into there? Very simple. Double bottom setup. One of my favorite setups. There's a double bottom and there's a mini double bottom, right? There's another double bottom inside of the big double bottom, W. So then I longed it and just said, let's do this. Are we going to trade crypto? Yes. So 50%. Now the next 50% is the second target. But again, it's the next big push for crypto in terms of here, right? We already fulfilled that. Everybody sees it. It's so obvious. Everyone knows now. Now it's a matter of, well, is the rest of the buyers in America or the world going to keep buying this on good news or not? Sometimes the W fails, meaning it completes and then it's over, right? So if this crashes back, I don't want it to crash back down to zero because that's a wasted trade. You need to lock in something as a swing trader. If I'm investors, different story, different mindset. So on the weekly, you had that huge W double bottom that I drew this yellow box here and finally I made a decision to buy it. Now, if you could see this dotted line here on the resistance, we broke out of there. So just like Doge, just in case this thing pulls back to 900 level, bounce up to next big resistance, 1600. Then I'm going to get excited about that. It didn't even reach the 0.88 retrace yet. Not even 0.88. Sometimes, like I said, sometimes 6.8 is a target. If I have patience. The last time SHIB went insane move, it only took 1 month to go 10x, like 2 months to go 10x. If SHIB goes 10x, oh yeah, I'm going to take my profit. Even if it goes right here, it has to go back to 7,500 SHIB. It looks like it kind of wants to do that, right? We went from downtrend. Everyone's asking me, should I buy SHIB? And I kept saying, maybe not because it's in a downtrend. But finally, we're seeing signs of a trend change. So now it's a waiting game. Okay, before I go too long, I have a question. Do I look at futures? Sorry. Let's look at futures. I'm presuming you're talking about stock futures or crypto futures. Let me know if you're still in here. But thank you for this question. Do I look at futures? Yes, I have the data. I pay for it. I don't always trade futures, so I'm more of a stocks and crypto person, trader and investor. But let's look at ES1. We'll go through these a little rapid fire. So ES1 on the daily, if you're on a day trader, you're probably looking at like 5 minute 15 or something. But we go into H4 here, still in the golden up cross. So that's why I'm starting to build a little bit of that short position just because we hit that oversold with the bearish divergence. But it can keep, unless we have a monster trend change, right? The fact that it just double top today, that's why I'm getting a little suspicious here. Lower high, maybe if I just need to get that just one leg down and then I'll have a successful short there. But I don't want to really short it because it's golden up cross. It's gonna, if I leave the short for too long, it's gonna stop out. I'm gonna lose that trade. So that's why futures is nice to look at. I usually look at it at Sunday night and Monday morning or before the market opens, whatever I'm trading. Let's go to, if you want to go NASDAQ futures, NQ1. NQ1. So we also have, let's go on an hourly here for intraday people. Like I said, drawing this one trend line is the key. Drawing this one large trend line, there's multiple here. Once it gets broken to the downside, I know something wrong is happening. So there's a cascading. Sometimes I like to draw multiple cascaded. And it's starting to kind of lose momentum. It's going strong up, and then you can kind of see it, and it's going sideways. So the feeling of somebody this day when they cause huge panic in the market, somebody is taking their profit here or just shorted on the FedEx bad earnings on that day. But this is going up still in the EMAs. Once we lose this Turner EMA, I think people will short it a little bit harder. So you can see it's still range bound going into the holidays. So maybe a double bottom could consolidate for a little bit more before it tries to either break to the upside or downside. And last one, go to Dow Jones futures. For some reason, escape my mind right now. Let's go YM1, YM. Dow Jones futures, still in the overbought range. So like I said, if somebody is in a long setup or long mindset bull, if I just look at this chart, let's say from the purple to the purple, right? Or this blue, from here to here, blue to blue in this box. This is just great practice for anybody trying to go long or short is where am I going to buy long? Where am I going to go short? So for sake of time, I'll just tell you the answer. Long is there's oversold down here on RSI. We also have momentum building here. If you know this setup, you know this play, and there's a V-shaped recovery reverse on the daily chart, long that, and boom, it's extreme high. Rally, 16%. Just like all cryptos went long for the past 2 months. It was incredible. End of the year. Now, if you're a bear, I have to actually move the box a little bit. But if you're a bear, there is a setup here. If we look very closely, there is a head and shoulders here. That's a bearish setup with the neckline. Very clear. And it got retested. So if I'm a bear, I'm shorting this down exactly right here. 2-to-1 risk, or a little bit less than 2-to-1 risk, and close it out. But you have to understand, you can't short down to oblivion because everyone shorted down here got destroyed because we had that massive $1 billion short squeeze. So it shorted down to support, and then I'm going to let go of that. Now flip it to the long side. As soon as this it's harder to do this in real life, but many traders did do it. Because who was expecting 14% rally off of this? I was only expecting maybe up to like 6% before something we're going to fight in terms of the bulls and bears. But it went way above that target for me, which is great. Little intraday trick here. There was oversold on the intraday and upside down head and shoulders, right? So I'm just reminding people that the charts tell the story. The candles, the price. Indicators help, like oscillators and EMAs, they help me make the final decision. But the price tells the story. Price is the ultimate indicator. Okay, I have a couple requests here. I'm not going to do all of these. And for the person requesting this on TradingView, I think it's just better and safer. You do not have to tell me the exact setups that you're doing on for all of these. Maybe just write down one or two ticker symbols, and then it'll give me like an unbiased expectation mindset. So I'm not going to do all of these. These are requests. Let's just see what they are, because oftentimes it'll be in pairs. So the first one is this one. This one, you can see they're all up in the rally. They all rallied, all right? They all rallied. So I'm going to start with I'll just do the biggest volume mover here. I think it was Accenture. 2.3 million volume here is good. Most they just had their earnings as well. So if you just came into a stream right now, the first 30 minutes of the stream or first 20 minutes is all stock. So I would refer you there in terms of all the indexes: S&P, NASDAQ, Dow Jones, Russell 2000, etc. For this particular chart, this is how I would do it. Go to a daily, understand where we are, get a couple years of data on the chart, start drawing trend lines. So support on the bottom side, we had a large resistance breakout here. It just broke out of there. Now the all-time high on this is 406. The next level down, 364. And 336 is the support. So those are the levels I'll be watching out for. Double check that with the pivots or something. We just broke through R1, R2 as well. It is golden up crossed. So if that's the problem is a lot of people, I'm not picking on one person, I'm just saying, just like everything I showed on almost all my streams, I like to buy low price because that's where the maximum gains are. Support, 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 support. Either of these supports. When after it rallies, then everybody gets interested in the stock. But trying to always play breakouts is the risk is much, much higher because there's a huge circle right here in terms of trying to long that on Tuesday, right? But if there is something about 5%, let me double check something. Okay, so possibly $6, $6 to $12 a move. So minimum stop loss of like 2% to about 3%, maybe 3% stop loss would be safer on this. 6% if somebody's like trying to swing trade this for a long time. But the fact is the market, it's at a relative resistance point. There could be a pullback. It is golden up cross, so long term, maybe like 3 months from now, this thing will go higher. But I like to buy on some of these dips. So if I go to a 4-hour chart, any one of these dips were the play. So when this thing golden up crosses, okay, support play. When this starts going sideways and then breaks out a little bit, support play. When there's a little Bollinger Band poke, that is not normal. 90% not normal standard deviation out of that second standard deviation. So then that's a buy opportunity if somebody's in the market right there at the end of the day. And then it'll go up a little higher. So they had their earnings, and then that's why it rebounded. So there's not much here except the fact that it broke out above 347. So that's why it's always difficult to come in at the end of a move or when it's floating in the air like that. So that's why I just keep trying to remind people, and even myself, that whenever it taps the EMA, most traders know that's a dip spot to buy. If I just rewind this chart, throw up an EMA, where was this 50 EMA bounce, 100 EMA bounce, super oversold bounce, all stocks? Or if that nobody was sure there, trend line, enter there on the break, and then all this is reap rewards. So just want to let people know that. Somebody asked me, is that a massive cup and handle? Which chart? On this chart? So actually, if you are talking about this chart, it's not actually only this stock. If you rewind, you just go to anything. You go to S&P 500 on a weekly. This is how I know we're about to go up. I'm talking about this. If that's true, it should do that. If this is 100% true, we should we should end up 30% higher in the future. The reason why I'm not calling that on every single stream is we're about to go into earnings season in 3 weeks from now. So earnings season will determine the real move. Earnings season plus interest rate hikes for stock market, those combined, or interest rate reductions with the FOMC. So at the most bullish case, if all big bank and tech earnings are positive, like EPS top line revenue is good, and in March or February we get interest rate reduction, oh, you bet. I can probably anticipate that we're probably going to keep going higher. But the reverse is that if we have bad earnings, that's where the dip play is going to come into play, because it's going to be bad earnings. But if we have interest rate reductions, then it might go back up again. So this was a beautiful play, but it's going to take years, maybe like 2 years for this thing to play out. But this is a huge potential cup and handle. Would have been nicer if it pierced down a little bit more, but it's fine. It's okay. And the other thing confirming this is this was a large upside down head and shoulders with a perfect neckline, which we exactly retested. So the measure move of that thing, inverse head and shoulders, 15 to 30%. We hit the first 15%. The second 30% target should be up here, 523. So I have that in the back of my mind, inside of my mind, in terms of almost all the indexes did that. And that's why it pays to keep looking at the charts. It pays. I know people who don't care about charts at all, but then it helped me so much in my own trading and investing. All right, so it's Christmas holiday. I want to give away some free knowledge and free information. Anybody who's watching this stream, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, everyone. Hope you have a Happy New Year coming up. It is stock market is closed on Monday. For Christmas, the stock market's also closed for January 1st. That's why I'm doing Friday streams earlier. So the next stream, I'm going to come back probably on Friday the 29th or the 30th, probably sometime after market close in the afternoon or evening time in USA time, and do the same thing. So thank you, everyone. Hope you have a beautiful, wonderful, relaxing, de-stressful weekend and the holidays. Happy holidays, and wishing health and happiness to everybody. Thank you so much, everyone who followed and supported my stream this year. We had a great year in trading and investing. I hope you did too. And I'll see you in the next stream. Thanks for watching. If you like this stream, consider clicking like or following on TradingView, YouTube, Twitch, X, Twitter platform, just to follow and support the stream. Keep the ideas flowing. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.